they are aspiring bodybuilders. You know, a lot of them are at the beginning of their careers. A lot of them assume for them to succeed, they got to get on steroids, right? At some point when they're ready for it. So what advice would you give to those people? Because obviously they want to make a name for themselves. They want to compete. You know, they want to become, you know, popular bodybuilders. They want to achieve something in their career.
Providing people with open education on what can happen from steroids. Those pros that you see suffer at some point in their life, but then no one publicizes this until they end up having a heart attack. And we're not going to go into names and whatever. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I say to them, be careful. Be careful. You know, I take care of NASCAR drivers. You don't think that's dangerous?
Very dangerous.
I understand it's adrenaline. I understand what you want to do. Are you willing to take these risks? I find medical disease is genetically congenital disease.
遺伝とか才能とかじゃなく
コツとかテクニックを覚えれば。
I say, man, you're definitely going to hit a roadblock real quick. But most people, 25-year-old man comes in, 23, 30, and I say, you know, you're a healthy guy. So you will be potentially destroying a perfectly healthy body. Oh, but I certainly understand the motivation, but do you want to do that? I have dozens and dozens of men in dialysis right now. You know what that is? You know what dialysis is?
Yes, when they hook up the machine to you, right?
Correct. They don't look good. They don't feel good. There's a lot of depression. I deal with depression all day long. And they say, Doc, I fucking did this to myself. And was it worth it? And some men, very famous men, you know, say it was worth it. And I don't hate him for that. You know who I'm talking about. And that's sexy and great for films, but people focus on that for the adrenaline. They focus on that for the dream. And this is what our world is about. And this is a beautiful world, Vlad. So it's how much risk would you like to take?
How soon can a bodybuilder starting taking steroids can expect seeing real health complications? And what are the most common ones that they should be expecting?
The problem is young bodybuilders are healthy and the problems don't come, they sometimes don't come for 20 years. And but some of them will. And there's so many factors. What is your underlying medical history? How much steroids are you doing? What else are you doing? Do you have underlying genetics for early heart disease and kidney disease? So yes, what I see early is a man that has just bad genetics, which is bad luck. And then he doesn't know, how did I have a heart attack at 28 or 35 or a DVT clot or something? Or this guy over here did, sir. So it mostly, the blessing and the curse is you don't hurt a healthy body overnight. It's a blessing, but it's a curse because it's a slippery slope. And young men they don't see men that go to war and again, and men that play football, men that do jump out of airplanes, men that are warriors. I have these men. These are incredible, high intensity, adrenaline driven men. This is the same man that does bodybuilding and powerlifting and strongman. These are adrenaline driven men. The drugs come into play because they tell me, doctor, I have to use the drugs because I'm chosen. I have great genetics. I hear it. I've been doing this since 2003. And, you know, and it gets better and better every day, more humble every day, because I understand what doing. It's a slippery slope. But so it's insidious. It's insidious and it takes time. The most, common disease I see is of the heart and the internal organs in the kidney.
So it's safe to assume that whenever in life you'll get those side effects is depending purely on your genetics. It depends on your health.
Correct. Multifactorial. Come on, it's who you are. I mean, some guys take a gram of testosterone, they don't get estrogenic. Wow, no gynecomastia. And then I have guys who take I have lawyers who take a little androgel and their boobs whoosh, and they can't take it or they get roid rage. They get so aggravated, they want to like kill the client or the judge. That's not good.
Some saying that the steroids are not the magic pill. And basically, it's all about the hard work, and steroids just add very little to bodybuilding career. Some people say it's all about the steroids, when it comes to a bodybuilder. So, in your opinion, how much steroids contribute to a mass monster?
Great question. Steroids are absolute miracles. Absolute miracle. They're not pills, right? They're injections and pills. Take someone that has good genetics and hard work and good diet and an ethic and a monster. And, I've taken care of the top guys in the world of powerlifting and strong men and some bodybuilders. I've turned off the bodybuilders decades ago. So that's okay. They don't do insulin, right? They don't do insulin. Strong men don't do insulin. And they don't do anti-estrogens because they don't give it. They like estrogen because you start blocking estrogen, you're going to start rupturing tendons. So, but the top guys in the world, Vlad, have three things: best genetics, no kidding, because they respond to steroids, right? And they have the top diet and behavior. There have been bodybuilders in the world that have been alcoholic and cigarette smokers and drug users, and it's limited their ability if that guy only wasn't an alcoholic. Ronnie Coleman, look at Ronnie Coleman before he took steroids. I mean, Ronnie Coleman trained natural up until, I don't know, 25, what was it, 25 or something, and then he started taking steroids. And how do you know it's true? In the next 10 years, he gained like 100 pounds of muscle of body. So Ronnie Coleman, it would be Ronnie Coleman versus Ronnie Coleman on enhanced. Come on, Vlad. So it would be Ronnie, Flex. It would be all the top guys. Now, some men they have genes for responding more than men that are just natural. So this is an equation where this is a new game player. The top guy can use this much steroid. He's still going to have medical complications. Come on, Vlad. It's every single one. When you're 45 or 50, there's no free lunch, Vlad. But if a guy uses this much, he's just going to have the complications worse and more early. Come on, Vlad, common sense. Because they have heart disease and kidney disease, and they have psychiatric disease, severe erectile dysfunction. And if that young guy thinks he's going to be a warrior and he's going to be, Doc, I know it's risky. I'm asking this man to please reconsider and find something else. And it's called sublimation, right, Vlad? Sublimation. Take that energy and put it somewhere else, because, brother, at least you're going to be on testosterone for the rest of your life. That's 100% guaranteed. Did you know that, Vlad? Did you know that?
I've heard about it. Yeah, after you get off.
100%. But the majority of my patients that come to me are middle-aged or younger, and they've destroyed their natural production. It's called anabolic steroid-induced hypogonadism, and they cross a certain line. They don't naturally produce. So in the end of the day, let's go into it, Vlad. Professional bodybuilders, I love them. I take care of them. I don't hate on them, every single one. And Vlad, they suffer. Come on, am I right or wrong, guys? When they're 23, 25, you're a freight train. But when you're 35 or 40, you may not hear, it's not publicized. When men are older, after 10 years or so of steroids, they're never going to produce natural testosterone. And they have a host of medical issues that I see I talk to hematology doctors, nephrology doctors, cardiology doctors, endocrinology doctors. I'm hired to coordinate care for these men. Some of these cases are very complicated.
Do you think there's ever a safer way to use steroids for bodybuilding purposes?
No, I don't. Because I understand the immune system. I understand the endocrine system medically. I understand that when a man takes even SARMs, young men, it shuts down your natural production. Let's go into the basics. Ready? Hypothalamus, your brain runs your testicles. When you take an exogenous androgen, it's going to, your brain is going to, and then depending on how long your brain sleeps and what you've done, your testicles won't come back. There's no safe way. It's all about how much risk you're willing to take. You're playing with fire. You can't take steroids safely. Your heart is going to enlarge further, or it's going to enlarge. You're looking at cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, depression. You're going to be at a certain point, if not already, reliant on testosterone forever. And your fertility, we have to work on that. And hey, yeah, thank you, doctor. And if they decide to transition to physiologic testosterone, I could do that. I learned how to deal with people and don't discriminate. Doctors say to steroid users, get the fuck out of here. They do, some of them. And that's why they're getting sued. So I don't give a blessing on steroids. I assess every man, and I offer recovery therapy, evidence-based, for fertility, protect the heart, protect the kidney, and potentially transition to testosterone. But I did my